Hello everyone, my name is Jason and I send you greetings from Garmisch, Germany. Today I'm going to talk to you about communication satellites. In this picture is your typical communication satellite that's used today. I will break down the functions that communication satellites perform every day. Many of the services that we use today rely on the kind of satellite to perform accurately. We'll also go over the basic components that are found in your typical communication satellite. The components in the satellite make up a complex system which is custom designed based on the exact role the satellite will be needed for. Like all satellites, communication satellites will come in many different forms based on the job that the satellite will do. All satellites have a frame which is called a bus. The bus is like the skeletal system of the satellite which will hold all the components together. Satellites have an attitude control system, or ACS. This system helps the satellite maintain its course while it orbits around the Earth. For the satellite to function, it must also have a battery on board that can be charged by solar panels located on the outside of the satellite. There are a few satellites that have run on nuclear power, but those are satellites used for deep space travel to other planets. All satellites have a radio and antenna system so crews can monitor the health of the satellite and to be able to access information stored in the satellite. Satellites must also have an onboard computer system to monitor and control the many functions that a satellite must do correctly. In this picture is a typical satellite with the solar panels for charging, the bus, the inner components for the equipment, the computer, and the antennas for receiving and sending information. Due to the complexity of the communication satellites, it takes many years to design and build. Every satellite is a custom design which is very expensive. Once it is designed and the budget is approved, the company can begin building the satellite. Many companies will use a template when building satellites, which allows them to produce satellites without having to rebuild each time a satellite is built. Boeing, for example, will use the same frame or bus to build their satellites. What goes onto the bus is determined by the role the satellite will be used for. Communication satellites perform many functions that people take advantage of and sometimes take for granted. This type of satellite is used mainly for entertainment and business purposes. People have been able to stay connected with one another like never before with the advancements of communication satellites. One of the most common uses for the communication satellite is television. Television networks send the signal to the satellites, then to local stations or cable companies, and then the signal is sent to the viewer. In this picture, you can see the cable companies that send the signal up to the satellite, and the satellite relays the information back to the satellite dish for people to view TV. This technology also allows TV news companies the ability to report live while being mobile in the field. Another function that has steadily gotten more frequent is the GPS system. Communication satellites provide free time and location to anyone that has a GPS receiver, like the ones that are used in the car or a handheld receiver. This function has made navigation systems in automobiles very popular with the ability to provide real-time directions. Communication satellites also provide internet and phone access to those that are in remote locations. This feature is very useful for the military, giving the ability to maintain communication and internet capabilities while deployed in combat areas. Mapmaking is also a major role that communication satellites are used for. Topographic engineers have benefited from the satellite's ability to take pictures of the Earth's surface for accurate mapping. Sirius XM Radio has become a major radio company that uses satellite radio as a way to provide music and programs to subscribers. Communication satellites make it possible for people to listen to the same station anywhere in the country. Meteorology is also affected by the use of communication satellites. Satellites have the ability to collect data which helps scientists to predict future weather conditions around the globe. These forecasts are made available on TV stations and websites where anyone can see the satellite's imagery for weather patterns or forecast data. Communication satellites play a large role today in the way people communicate with one another. Television, cellular phones, long-distance phone calls, and faxes are just some of the things people use daily that are directly affected by communication satellites. Hopefully you have a broader understanding of the components that make up a satellite and the important functions that a communication satellites do. Thank you for listening to my speech.